You know, it's just going to be what it's just going to be. Hello. We're going to cry every single stream. Just kidding. Maybe we're not going to cry tonight. It's doTERRA. It's day 2. Just kidding. No, it is day 2. It's 2 million fewer heartbeats and 2 million fewer tears. Or 2 million more tears? Who knows? Subscribers, take the leaderboard off. Save, save, save. I promise you, this angle is just weird because this hole isn't here in real life. The squirrels and I are just gonna have to fix it, so I'll just comfort myself with the sensory dream over here. Okay? I hope I'm not muted. I'm so happy to see everybody. All one of you. My high, if we're gonna do those, we're gonna do highs and lows. My high is I got some piles donated to Goodwill. Well, I sold some things to Plato's Closet. And then I took the unsold things to Goodwill. So I got 2 things. That's all the executive functioning I could do today. Well, no. I also talked to my psychiatrist. And I got XCal some Diet Coke and ice cream. Hello, hello, hello. Michelle, hi. All four of us. The dream team. Did I brush my hair today? No. Do I have the best hat of all time today? Yes. You know what? The dream would be just to have a hat wall. Here, I will show you. Well, I guess there is kind of a hole. It's not as bad of a hole as we thought. Also, Melaleuca is an MLM. There's just more of a hole than we thought, which is okay. It's okay. I'm mostly telling myself the hole's okay. My spoons are gone, so the filter, the inside thought filter, there's none. So, sorry to everybody who's new here. I'm DC. I'm a multi-level marketing dropout. Unfortunately for y'all, independent YouTube content creator, and me and my autism are taking on unethical business practices, unethical overlords of the MLM, scam, all the things variety, I guess. Trying to watch out for the vulnerable people in the cults and the scammy spaces, and hopefully advocating for consumers and all the things. So, in the midst of technical difficulties and chronic pain, you'll see us hanging out in the chronic pain corner, mucking about with uneven twinkle lights, and glad you're here. And subscribe for more premium content when I'm really late for a live stream. Hello. Hi, I got through a day of work. Low, surgery I had yesterday did not work. Oh, I hate that. I'm so sorry. Isn't that the worst? When you're like, oh, I'm gonna be optimistic and get my mind right because my surgeon said, oh, if you're positive, it's going to have like a better chance of like working. And then you get excited, not excited, but you're like, I'm going to be optimistic about this. And then the surgery doesn't work. And then you're like, fuck you, I got excited and now I'm disappointed and I knew I shouldn't have gotten excited. And you tricked me. Well, that's just me. Sorry. Is that my... Don't listen to me. I've just had multiple surgeries that didn't work. Don't listen to me. And don't let your children at home listen to me. I'm also in my chronic pain corner. Greetings and salutations to everyone in their chronic pain corner. I hope that you are snuggling with your floofs or crafting or playing your games or just chilling. I hope the dulcet tones of my pessimism lull you to sleep if you need sleep. I hate that manifestation nonsense. I may have started a fight in my partial hospitalization program over manifestation. Ex-cow was like, are you sure that was the hill you wanted to die on? And I was like, there's multiple hills I died on in partial hospitalization, ex-cow. And I wanted to die on every single one of them. Me and all my spoons. Dug in deep. High, clean undergarments are great stuff. Low, migraine is migraining. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of all y'all. Coconuts! I absolutely love my new job. Low, the drive home from work takes almost an hour to go 9.5 miles. Well, that's gross. Also, proud of you. Love that you love your new job. What's a good podcast? Social Simone podcast. I love listening to people talk in not exactly a podcasty way. Oh, I know probably a lot of people love music. Music is tricky. I'm not your music recommend person. And conversation podcasts have to be, I don't know. Don't listen to me if you want to recommend. Don't listen to me. I like listening to good book readers read a book. And obviously I'm picky as hell. But James Marsters, one of my favorite readers of all time, especially as he gets good in book 3 of the Dresden Files. He gets good because he first starts reading books in book 1 of the Dresden Files, and he's not bad in book 1. He was Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He's not bad in book 1, okay? He gets good, like, he starts getting good in book 3, where you're like, oh, I like you as a book reader, like, really like you as a preferential, like, I prefer you as a book reader. Book 4, you're like, I wish you would read all the books that I like to read. And then as he begins to read, there was a ghost story later on in the series. There was some conflict where he couldn't read it, and the fans rioted because they got another guy to read it who was he's a great book reader. Narrator, sorry, whatever. I know y'all are like, I know. And the fans rioted, and so they had to pay James Marsters also to read the book. So, anyways, they found out they just had to wait for James whenever James had time to read the book, because The fans do not want anyone else to read the book. Good hill to die on. Social Simone? I don't want to pick up the phone. He's also very nice. I'm in Buffy groups. Honestly, I would be totally down to like watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer in Discord. Hey, what's your channel about? Well, we do anti-scam stuff, and also we kind of go on a little bit of tangents at the beginning of the streams and the middle of streams and at the end of the streams. But we're glad you're here. I'm glad you're alive. We are doing essential oil detox series that is, well, it's really a recruiting series that's cosplaying as a detox series. And we're going to listen to a silver level rep who's going to tell us about, I wrote it down. A bunch of structure function claims. So many, in fact, that the FTC would be pissed off if they actually had enough staff to do anything about it. The FDA would be pissed off if they actually had enough staff to do anything about it. So we'll just rage together. And she's going to, what else? Tell us how magical essential oils are. And this is all like priming the pump of the scam pipeline for us to, I don't know, familiarize us all with doTERRA. So when, let me actually just double check. I always want to see when my video, I kind of want to see when YouTube Studio, I don't know when Ava's going to upload. Oh, guess what's uploaded? Bridge contract is uploaded and it's 22 minutes and 37 seconds. So, what I will do is tomorrow I will fix it. I will put the thumbnail on it. I'll get the reel ready. I will publish it to members only, and then it will go live to everyone and their mom or parental figure, whatever, on Thursday. Okay? So, Essential Oil Week and bridge contracts. Huzzah! So, that'll happen. That'll happen tomorrow. So, that's exciting. Yay. Best tangents ever. I watch other streamers and they're also quite all over at the start and go on squirrel trails. Oh, thanks, Kate. Lick the stream. We are on an odd number. Also, if you don't know, you may not care. I don't love odd numbers, so if you come in, you could save me from an odd number or help me get over kind of like to the cliff of pushing me over to the next even number. Either or. Hey, Nikki, what's up? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. We've got captions ready. We've got our VP of Global Product Innovation. Nobody.
And thanks for joining us this.
My headphones do work. I've completely disconnected them from my phone. Oh my God. We are in a slight pain flare, but that's just why we're in the pain corner. I cannot. The angle of death over here. That's okay. Okay. Focus. 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 Hello, chat. Hello, captions. Hello, product-based pyramid scheme. I found ways to accept odd numbers, like 5 and 7 are lucky and 9 is my birthday. You're good at mental gymnastics? I love that. I haven't found a way to accept odd numbers, although 5 is my favorite odd number. If I have to accept an odd number, even though I don't enjoy the shape of 5 or 3. I mean, I don't really like 7 either. Well. Oh, wait, I forgot to ask y'all. Oh, I was going to ask y'all another question. I forgot to write it down again. It doesn't matter. I'll think of it again. Okay. doTERRA is the... What is it called? It's the malignant cells of Young Living. So it's the blood feuding business of Young Living, like Pink Zebra is to Scentsy, like Rise is to Bomb Party, like Avon is to Mary Kay. Normally there's a business that is the opposite headbutting villain to another MLM, which maybe we should just like do that sometime to look at both. But doTERRA is that to Young Living. So I can only accept 5 as an odd number. Props to those of you who can with others. All right, let's go.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this week. We're excited to explore a topic many of us relate to: when your body feels like a stranger. Our host and teacher for tonight is Glee Hohnhound, a trusted wellness educator who makes this message simple, practical, and easy to apply. Tonight, we'll look at cellular aging, gentle detox, and foundational repair, and connect the dots to hot flashes, everyday aches, energy dips, and memory. We'll keep it realistic and doable. So here's the flow for our time together: what cellular aging means and why your body can start to feel unfamiliar. Gentle detox, no extremes. Easing the load so your cells can do their job. And foundational repair, daily supports for nutrition, movement, sleep, and stress. How these shifts can show up in hot flashes, aches, energy, and memory. And of course, some Q&A. Now, as you listen, be thinking who else can benefit from this conversation. A friend, a coworker, a family member who's been feeling off. Jot their name down so you can share what you learn.
What? Wait. I just watched a video where a doctor answered random medical questions. Someone asked him the health benefits of essential oils, and he said, "Some smell nice." I love that. Michaela, I love your highs, and I'm sorry about your lows. Mernin. Yes, another doTERRA infomercial and a lot of FDA and FTC fuckery. This lady, here's what I think. I think they're trying to slide a bunch of structure function claims in with this lady because it's like, oh, she's so cute and unassuming. But no. Also, if y'all are wondering about the bridge contract video, members get to watch it. It's probably going to come out tomorrow evening because tomorrow is going to be tomorrow's going to be a rough day. But Thursday's coming out for everybody. So I must be weird because I only like odd numbers. Oh, that's cool. Because my grandma had this saying when feeding people to take the number and add 1 in case someone randomly comes. I love that.
Drop questions in the chat anytime. We'll have Q&A at the end. All right, let's jump in.
Okay, everyone, welcome to our foundational wellness class. We're going to be talking today about daily detoxing. So every day, your body is quietly working behind the scenes, filtering, neutralizing, and eliminating the toxins that you're exposed to through the air that you breathe, the food that you eat, and the products that you use, and even the stress that you carry. Your liver, kidneys, and gut, and your lymphatic system are incredible. But let's be honest, modern life asks a lot of them. That's why doTERRA has created the Daily Detox Targeted Solution, a simple, sustainable way.
Okay, this whole system is hella expensive. We've been looking at it, obviously. We looked at it yesterday. This is video frickin' 3. This kit on the left, the PB Restore, the EO Mega Plus, the green box of like gold fuckery is was it $199? The one like with the essential oil bundle and those, it was like $333. Why? Please hold. See? I just need to pull this into Brave so we can read and be good. I didn't put this in my notebook. I'll be reading this. I didn't memorize it. Y'all know my recall is shit on my like prescription medication from my doctor. So I wrote the high risk statements from the transcript that I pulled from Premiere Pro, and then why it's being flagged because of the FTC or the FDA. Because of structure function issues, like structure/function claims for dietary supplements. They're allowed to make them under the FDA umbrella if they're truthful, substantiated, appropriately notified / disclaimed, and do not become disease claims, which a lot of them do. A lot of reps like mess up on all those fronts, which is why when you hear me and Aaron and Julie Joe and CD Beauty Hunter and a bunch of other multi-level marketing, Savannah. I know I'm missing so many people, and everyone's like, "Oh, this person." Yell a bunch of anti-MLM people is fine. Are like, you whenever we say you can't say that, that's why. Or when we're yelling, that's a structure function claim, it's because we're yelling about their claims and how they're saying the dietary supplement is impacting a structure function in the body. The claims to diagnose, cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent disease can cause a product to be treated as a drug. A lot of the reps are saying that the supplement that they're telling you should buy for something, they're making it seem like it is a prescription medication. They can't claim, or they can't pretend to be a doctor on TV, and they can't pretend that their supplement is going to fix something that you're struggling with, that you should go see a doctor for, and that their little supplement is gonna for sure fix. So the FTC separately evaluates advertising claims, including implied claims. So if and that's what we were talking about yesterday, like inferring something, having you jump to like what they want you to think or assume about something, and expects competent and reliable scientific evidence appropriate to the claim. That's what the FTC is evaluating, except, they don't have enough manpower to do anything about it. So, good job, U.S. government. I'm so grumps about that. Consumer protection where? Ugh. My God. I'm going to take a drink so I can I'm going to be like, you need some of that doTERRA so you can lower some of your heartbeats by 2 million beats. No thanks. I'll just keep my heartbeats to myself. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. In Australia, people can use their testimonials on supplements that are gifted to them as long as they are properly disclosed, but you can't make a testimonial on sunscreen if it was gifted. Stop. Are you serious? I know you're serious. I'm just shocked. I'm so shocked. Could we classify this commercial/class as well-made garbage? I don't mind it, except that I hate it. It drives me crazy that I'm child number 2 out of 3. Like, why couldn't I be 1 or 3? That. If you are a lover of odd numbers, I understand that. I can understand that. I'm just getting my blood pressure under control. I feel better now. I feel a little bit better. Let's go. There we go. There we go. We're ready to rumble. Notes engaged. Oh, wait. How much was this? We need to get our doTERRA up. Oh, here we go. doTERRA plus these little guys are expensive. The Revitazen. It's not going to revitalize your wallet, though. Someone just kicked me off my channel. Just ban me from going live. Revitazen, $63.33 for the pills, and then Revitazen drops, $38.67. Oh my God. My leg hurts so. Oh my God. Okay, opt out. Thanks so much. Where is it? Shop. Kits and collections. I don't want a starter kit. I want, I kind of want whatever it was. Bestsellers. No, I just clicked on that. New products, supplements, special offers. I thought maybe they'd have it like as something you could buy. Diffusers, accessories, FSA, HSA eligible items, bestsellers, doTERRA. Join our company. That's fine. EO, PBEO, Revitazine. Okay. Oh, here we go. The kit $149.50 wholesale, which is only $125 PB. So $199.33. And then I'm guessing you get. Anyways, we'll just keep watching. Sorry.
A way to give you your detox pathways the support that they need to keep you feeling clear, energized, and resilient daily. This targeted solution isn't about a harsh cleanse or a quick fix. It's about nourishing your body with what it needs to do, with what it was made to do. Detox naturally and thrive consistently. So today, we'll walk through the science behind the daily detoxification, the key products in this bundle, and a simple daily routine that's both powerful and easy to stick with. So let's dive in and explore what's possible when you support your body one drop, one habit, one day at a time. Wellness can be complicated. So many choices, so many products. It's easy to get overwhelmed and stuck in the someday. But here's the truth. Wellness doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. And that's why we call this approach the Wellness Made Simple. It's 3 easy steps. Foundational oils in every home. These are the must-haves, the ones that support your sleep, your digestion, energy, immune health, and more. Essential oils like lavender, lemon, peppermint, frankincense, and tea tree. These are your daily tools. Then there's also a daily wellness routine. Daily support means long-term results. And with VMG Plus, you fill nutritional gaps and flood your body with bioavailable vitamins, minerals, and greens. With E-Omega Plus, you get the omega-3s and inflammatory system support from wild-caught fish and wild orange essential oil. And with doTERRA PB Restore, you build and balance your gut, home to 70% of your immune system with pre, pro, and postbiotics. So what you do daily is how you feel consistently. So targeted.
I kind of secretly just want to go on a squirrel trail. We get it. They want to recruit people. Like, this is a detox. Like, I may just like this literally, you know what? Friends, catfish, sorry guys. I'm calling an audible. We're gonna go to business for home, and we're just gonna see who the top people in doTERRA are. And we get it. It's a detox, but it's really recruiting for doTERRA. There's gonna be something more interesting coming out for y'all on Thursday. We're bored out of our minds. Sorry about that. It's a product-based pyramid scheme. We got it. 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 In 2020, they were doing they're doing 58 million per month. And in 2020, they were doing maybe I think they must have been doing 1.8. That's wrong. They must have dropped a lot after they didn't drop that much after the pandemic. Anyways, we're going to go top ranks. Elise Sedevy is one of the top 20 master distributors. Okay, Haley Hobson, pretty sure top 20, but I can't confirm that. I can confirm Elise Sedevy, top 20 master distributor. Are we okay going on a squirrel trail? I was like, we're going load more. I wonder if Andy and Natalie Goddard. I'm just trying to see Matt. Are you interesting? Who knows? Hold on. Okay. I don't know how accurate this is, but I know that these top two okay. So these are, I know that at least the top two are accurate. Haley Hobson is doing 26 million a year. $260,000 a month. Okay? Ish correct. She was, I can't speak to what she was doing before, but she is in doTERRA now. Elise Sedevy, husband Patrick, they have their cult school in the Czech Republic. Yes. That's how we found them. I mean, that's how we found like the twisty stuff. They are top tier. Okay? They're doing 2.5. They're doing, that's their lifetime income. Oh, sorry, 2.6 lifetime income. I mean 26 million lifetime income. 2. I must have gotten this wrong. They're making a lot of money. She's making a lot of money per month. She's done 26 million in her lifetime career. This is wrong. Business for home. Ignore this stuff. Boyd and Sandy Truman, Andy and Natalie Goddard, they possibly are one of the top 20. Roger and Teresa Harding, there's only 4. We would have to continue searching. We're just going on a squirrel trail. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Just working in the background. 1 second.
Welcome, friends. Welcome.
Okay. We have found some type of doTERRA Wellness Advocate Success podcast. And Andy, one of the top doTERRA reps, is on this. And so are other top reps. It's called the Share Success System, was created to benefit doTERRA wellness advocates everywhere have a solid, proven path to build successful doTERRA essential oil businesses. This is Andy 5 days ago. Andy shares the journey behind their doTERRA. How long is this? 46 minutes. This sounds way more interesting. Let's go. Missionary packing. Everything we packed for our missionary trip. Everything they packed from doTERRA for their missionary trip. How a veterinarian built a diamond business part-time. Dude, this is his team. This is Andy's team YouTube page. Dude, this guy's top tier in doTERRA. And these are his calls on YouTube. Oh my God. This is awesome. We love being, oldest. 12 years ago. Compensation plan. We're just kind of taking a little bit of a snoop. Kirk Duncan Leadership Summit Highlight 2015. I want to see if we have anything. Oh, there's Haley Hobson. She must be a frontline. Platinum intro. Is this boring? Hello. I used to be a regular viewer and haven't had time to watch for quite a while. Welcome. I have been. Ava is helping me do editing for short videos, so I'm getting under 30-minute videos out, so hopefully it'll give some options for people who don't have 2 hours and stuff. But it's good to see you. It's good to see you. We're just perusing into the essential oil fuckery of doTERRA. Kristen Van Way, Callie Wilson, Jessica Iddings, Chelsea Stevens. I'm trying to see 9 years ago. This guy looks familiar. She's for sure frontline. Hobson, when to start a new leg. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Inviting, presenting, enrolling. We're not going to watch this stuff. I'm just kind of seeing, like, I'm looking for interesting topics, but we'll watch one of his recent ones, like how we got started and stuff. Pipes, the secret sauce. Why do we have incentive trips? Get Aroma Touch certified. That's the massage stuff. Essentialism? What is essentialism? Wait, blue diamond strategy. Wait, what? Natalie Goddard. This sure looks like putting people in the correct spot. Okay, that looks interesting. Blue diamond strategy. Never stop enrolling. When your spouse joins your business. Sharing with Aroma Touch. A monthly training. Time management. Silver placement strategy. That's called stacking. Strategic placement. That's what they're talking about. Silver's a rank. That's stacking. Yes. Yes, feel free to just rage in the comments over here. Please see the scrolling ticker at the bottom. Callie Wilson. Yes. Callie Wilson's the one from yesterday. I went from oldest to newest. A lot of times people, like when they upload old stuff, they forget to go back and delete non-compliant things. And so that's why we went this way. So I thought maybe we'll look at the strategic placement first. Creating strengths base. What's this dude doing? Huh? Okay. What? How to get what you want. I'm just reading through different titles of these videos still. Yep, Callie Wilson. doTERRA versus Love 'em Leave 'em sponsor. doTERRA versus the nanny state. doTERRA versus the gold chainer. doTERRA versus the one size fits all. Law of the harvest. Max Goddard. This is their kid. Oh my God. How we use empowered success. Callie Wilson. Natalie Goddard's doTERRA story. How to find builders. Andy Goddard and Michelle Cannon. Dude, this is just wildly filled with Simon Sinek. Courageous leaderships. Okay. doTERRA homeschooling. Create your family plus doTERRA homeschooling. Oh my god, how long is that? An hour and 30. Okay, save the playlist. Watch later. How to share your message in times of uncertainty. What? I'm just kind of like getting a feel for this. Have we found someone twisty? I mean, for sure we have, because he's big, like, clear your financial blocks. What do you mean, your financial blocks? Essential Emotions Live? Essential Emotions training in Australia? What are we talking about? Whoa. Okay, this is wild. Okay. I kind of think... Let's just go to the most recent. Andy shares the journey behind their doTERRA, whatever.
What I learned is,
Dude. Okay. Are we good to go with this? A snorkel. He's huffing the oils. Dude, I'm gonna have to download the entire. We're gonna have to download the entire YouTube. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow. You think he's gonna? I'm like, is he gonna do that? Is he gonna delete it overnight? Woof. There's so many videos on that page. All right, well, welcome to a pivot of the squirrels, because we squirrel trailed too close to the sun. He sure has a lot of feathers on his desk. I think that's a very pretty view. And that's a very, like, that's a very expensive desk. Or something. I can't. What's fine. Let's just see what he's got to say. This is a top pyramid performer in doTERRA. Turkey feathers. Oh, cool. All right. He probably pays little attention to it. Yeah. I will say one time when yes, we have looked into Live Good. How many? I have like maybe 2 or 3 videos on the Live Good. Aaron's done Live Good. Live Good's what? Aaron just did a Live Good video. I think I've done maybe 2 or 3. And surprisingly, Live Good actually trends on Google pretty frequently. And they're very consistently posting and streaming. Their CEO is just very grating to listen to. So, Allie, what's up? Is there, what do you think of Live Good? Or what are your thoughts?
is that if there's only one thing that matters.
Okay, let me turn on live chat. or live captions. Yeah. You get it.
What I learned is that if there's
All right, let me turn back live captions. All right, captions. Here we go.
if there's only one thing that matters in your doTERRA business, it is belief. It all comes back to belief. If you could gauge the success, the momentum of your team, you would do it with that one metric, belief. And there's a certain sequence of beliefs that actually really matters. If you first have to have solid belief in the product. Second, in the business, so you have to believe in the company, the opportunity. You have to know that the company is trustworthy, but you also have to know that the comp plan is going to do what it says it will do, and that you'll get the results that you're looking for. The third thing you need to believe in is yourself. What I realized was you could build to elite with a belief in the product, you could build to premier with a belief in the company and opportunity, and you could build to silver with a belief in yourself. Good morning, friends. My name is Andy Goddard. Happy Wednesday. I'm grateful to
Oh,
be able to
God.
be with you. And I have this crazy belief that you were born to create, that creation
You were born to create? What is this? Am I getting sucked into a cult right now? What the hell?
it's part of your DNA. It's in your blood. And doTERRA just happens to be the very best vehicle for creating.
No. I was told this in Mary Kay. I was told this in Young Living. They all say, like, oh, we get to touch people's lives. And it just so happens that Mary Kay's the vehicle to be light to this person. It just so happens that Young Living Essential Oils is the vehicle for you to get, to get to so and so, to be able to share the light of whoever, whatever, that to share the light of Christ with this person, to share the light with this person. No. A product-based pyramid scheme is not the vehicle for you to share your light with whomever. Okay? No. Nope. No. No. Sure ain't.
No matter what it is you want to create, whether it's creating more time with your family, creating more abundance, more financial, physical, all the health kind of abundance, emotional abundance. Creation, I believe, is what we came here on earth to do. And doTERRA just happens to be the best vehicle we've found.
Create debt. Create turmoil. Create chaos. I mean, tell me what kind of things we're creating. You're not creating time freedom. You may be creating location freedom. And he may be creating financial freedom off of the financial sacrifices of his downline. We don't really know. We
found to partner with to create the life you want, to create everything that you want. So Natalie and I have been at this creation for the last 18 years. We just hit our 18-year anniversary, July 29th. So that was super exciting. And we love to share other people's successes along the way. I thought it might be fun to share our journey and some of our story of how we discovered doTERRA. So back up 20 years ago, Natalie had been trained as a holistic health coach, inspired by her mom. Her mom was very open to all things natural. She used aloe vera juice, and all the teas and tinctures and soaks and enemas and baths and all the things. So because of that, Natalie was really, really open to holistic solutions for her health, for our family's health. So she got trained as a holistic health coach. She was practicing for a few years, and she'd used a lot of lines of essential oils. And then she was driving down the street, just down the road here in Pleasant Grove, and she saw a woman feeding some horses with her kids. And the little voice came to her and said, stop and talk to that woman. And at first, Natalie thought, oh, that's crazy. I don't know who this is. She doesn't know who I am. And so she kept driving. The little voice came back and said, turn around, go talk to that woman. And I think it was the third prompting that she said, okay, I'm going to take a trust leap and risk looking foolish and go talk to her. So
Has the squirrel trail delivered yet again? Have I brought us to another cult? Please hold. What? I apologize for bringing us here against all of our wills. Andy and Natalie Goddard. Andy and Natalie Goddard. Young Living. I want the tea. I want to know if they were ever in Young Living. I want to know if they were in Young Living first, is what I really want to know. And I want to know if they were named in the lawsuit. Holy moly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 kids? No? Project Vitality. Do I even want to know? I don't want to know. I do not want to know. doTERRA's top earners inside the $1 Million Club. They joined in 2008. So they joined right when doTERRA opened. Okay. Why is it important to dream big? Because you can step on your downline to greatness? I don't know. I want to know. I just want the tea. Reddit. You gotta vote now. You gotta vote now. Drop a 1 if you want to read this Reddit post about Andy Goddard. You need to vote. You have to drop a 1. And dropping a 1 means you're not going to touch the poop. I mean, you can touch the poop if you want. But, like, I mean, if you want to. But, like, I know I've derailed us. I know I have. I know that I've brought us here into the wilderness, so to speak, without water. But, I mean, we can go back and get some root beer. I don't mind. Okay. You've convinced me. Let's go. Okay. In 2014, Andy Goddard, a U.S. founder of doTERRA, founder meaning one of the 20, meaning not a founder as in like he started the company, one of the like The master distributors, the people at the top, one of the 20, treated his son's third-degree burns with lavender oil before seeking medical attention. Yeah. Sorry, this is still our captions from before. Oh, let me take this off. Sorry. Dink. Also, anything that's wrong is alleged, and anything that I get wrong, and anything I get right, I get right. I brought us into the Colombian wilderness with the Prove It reps. Yeah, I hope everyone's wearing their shoes and isn't blindfolded and isn't going to step on a rusty nail. Oh, of course he did. Oh yeah, everybody who, yeah, okay. Archived posts, new comments, yeah. Watching your son, open. Okay, open. Oh. doTERRA US founder deals with son's burn tragedy by shilling products. Watching your son get third-degree burns all over his body is the type of family tragedy that every parent fears. But for one dad, who also happens to be a mid-level marketing pro, this is also an opportunity to tout the magic of his products. Mid-level he is not. He is at the very tippity top. Just so we're all clear. The top. The 20-prong top. Holding up the C-suite of doTERRA. Andy Goddard is a presidential diamond seller and U.S. founder of doTERRA Oils. She says, they're saying founder like they think, oh, they started the company together. No, founder meaning they continue to stack people and stack people and stack people into these top 20. On July 2nd, his son, 15-year-old Max Goddard, was the victim of a horrific explosion. Goddard has been sharing the family's response to this tragedy on maxgoddard.com. It has been an occasion to document the progress of his recovery, but it's also been a great venue for marketing his company's products. According to Goddard's website, there was an explosion. His son, oh my God, trigger warning, apologies, trigger warning. I didn't realize the effect, the extensiveness of this trigger warning, like extensive bodily harm via fire. Okay? I don't think there's pictures. There's no pictures. Okay? But I'm going to read about it, so if you don't want to hear about it, mute me, okay? Why did he sell? According to Goddard's website, there was an explosion. His son caught on fire and he ended up with third-degree burns on 30% of his body, with second-degree burns on another 10% of his body. What happens next is more confusing. Rather than take him directly to the hospital, his parents doused him with doTERRA essential oils, gave him a bath, and then drove him to the hospital. Oh my God. How did we get here? Number one, how did we get here? Number two, how are these twisty things in doTERRA that we've missed up until 2026? How did this audible get his calling an audible got us here? What? Y'all who are parents, can I just ask you a question? I'm not saying that everyone's perfect, because certainly not. I'm not a parent. I just have a question. If you're a parent, your child has massive burns to 40% of their body, would you not attempt to get your child to a medical facility or to medical professionals, emergency services, as fast as humanly possible? No? I don't know. What do you do? I don't know. Calling 911. Not dousing your child in lavender essential oil and giving them a bath? I'm a nurse, but immediately yes. I mean, yes, if y'all are nurses or like paramedics or you know what I mean? Like y'all obviously are better equipped than I am. I'm like, I know I like fidget with my hair when I'm so nervous. I fidget with my hair when I'm so nervous. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know. They need painkillers ASAP. That makes sense too. At 1:50, this is according to the website, and I'm also just reading from this article, and I think the article is taking screenshots of this website that was up at the time of this article being written, so I'm reading. At 1:50 p.m. on July 2nd, 2014, we heard a bang and a scream in the garage. Aunt Lorraine was washing dishes at the kitchen sink. She saw Max run out of the garage door and shouted, "Max is on fire?" Nat ran out the back door to the porch, and I ran down the back hall. Marcus opened the door, and I saw Max walking with his shirt and hair in flames into the house. I patted some flames out as he walked down the back hall, and Lorraine threw a bowl of water on him in the kitchen. Heidi poured a mixture of coconut oil, frankincense, and lavender over his head and chest. Coconut oil? I took the cap off of a full bottle of lavender and poured it over his head and hands. He went to the kitchen sink where he ran his hands underwater. His face and most of his hair was singed. The whole time he kept saying, "I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I didn't mean to scare you. I'm going to be fine." At the sink, he kept rubbing the dead skin off the top of his arms. In our bathroom, he asked for scissors. Oh, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this part. Sorry. I can't read this. I can't read this next part. I'm gonna open it on screen. I can't read this next part. Like, I'm sick. It's this little part right here. Y'all can read it for yourselves. The posting has since been edited to read, quote, "He took his clothes off in the kitchen and we put him in our bathtub under cold water. He said an explosion went off and he was blinded by the light and stumbled around, then ran into the house. While he was in the tub, Marcus and I gave him a priesthood blessing. I carried him to the van and we rushed him to the AF hospital." I'm like, the posts on the site go on to document the ways that the doTERRA products have aided in Max's recovery. As one of the very few people at the tippity top of the doTERRA pyramid, Goddard has done extremely well with the company. presidential diamond sellers averaged $1.372 million per year in 2013. April 25th, 2013, Andy Goddard posts, "Today is doTERRA's 5th anniversary. Where else could you work 20 hours a week for just 2 years and create a residual income of $10,000? And it will pay you month after month after month for years. You'll pass it down to your children." So what's your plan for residual income? Andy Goddard? Dude, we found... Who knew the twisty people in doTERRA were at the top, hiding out? Oh my God. I'm like... Oh my God. I am glad his son's okay. Yeah, like what exploded? It's literal child neglect. Yes. The priesthood blessing gave it away. Oh yes, yes, come. Yeah, and like his parents put this on the internet. And the same thing with people using their multi-level marketing companies or the products to promote when things go amok. And that is one thing. When Jessie Lee got sick, she wasn't saying ketones were going to save her life. I mean, all the other multi-level marketing companies got desperate and thirsty to get her to try to promote their products to see if their products could make her cancer free, right? She was not claiming that Prove It ketones were making her cancer free at all. But there are certainly a lot of multi-level marketing reps who take advantage or try to make money off of traumatic situations. David, I already knew they were Mormons from the moment I heard him talk. Yeah. doTERRA sells essential oils or aromatic oils that are used for holistic treatments. There is evidence that aromatherapy and essential oils may effectively help, blah, blah, blah. We don't care about that. We don't care. Okay, to become a presidential diamond of doTERRA, the salesperson must have recruited 6 people who have reached the platinum level. Each of those 6 people must have led 3 people to the silver level in order to reach platinum. Each of those people, in order to become silver, must have recruited 3 people to the elite level. And each of those people must have recruited 15 people to sell the product in order to become elite. While many people sign up for these types of companies because they love the product, those who are looking to become rich must be savvy about selling the business, not just selling the oils. I mean, this person's talking about like recruiting to certain levels. There's also volume you have to do, but I think she was just trying to simplify it. I'm trying to like skip over stuff. Andy Goddard has been very successful at doTERRA, recently traveling to Haiti with the doTERRA owners and other presidential diamonds In early June, he posted to his Facebook page, 4-year-old Talmage just asked me, "Dad, why don't you have a job? I love my life." Talmage. He has reached a level of success with the company that is rare and can only be reached with a steadfast dedication to selling the company. MaxGoddard.com has been sitting idle for a couple of years, and now his parents decided to start using it to sell the story of Max's accident, to ask for prayers and document his recovery. But instead of a straightforward recount of a horrible accident with heightened emotions, it reads like a doTERRA testimonial. The very first comment and the majority of the comments from readers from the start reflects this sentiment. Commenter Bernie Rodolante wrote, "Prayers for miraculous and speedy recovery for Max, as well as the Lord lifting you all up during this time. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank God for doTERRA and their amazing essential oils." Andy makes it clear that the oils are indeed miraculous. He, the doctor, was open to us using essential oils in Max's treatment. We agreed to give Max 1 more hour to see if the pressure had gone down in his arms and hands. We kept slathering the oils on him. Dr. M did the test and his numbers were all within acceptable range. The escharotomy that Dr. L was planning on doing just hours earlier was evaded. And there's screenshots of oh my God. An hour later, the head of the burn center, Dr. M, came to talk to us with Dr. L. He spoke about his 30 years of experience in burn care. He said he was a man of faith and that he believes in a balance of allopathic and homeopathic care. He was open to us using essential oils in Max's treatment. We agreed to give Max 1 more hour to see if the pressure had gone down in his arms and hands. We already read the rest. Okay. The burns require an environment that is moist and antibacterial. Up until last night, we would mist his body once a day with a combination of oils: frankincense, lavender, myrrh, and helichrysum. Helichrysum? I don't know. And then they would apply sylvadine cream and silver in it. We were feeling like Max needed more and wasn't getting enough for the level of healing that he was ready for. We explored options together. We were both frustrated and couldn't see another way. What is literally happening right meow? Let me tell you, can I tell you something? This may sound to you like, oh, a hospital wouldn't do this. 1, a hospital would do this. 2, there's a lady that I have not reacted to on my channel before. She treats her sons since he was 2 years old. He gets chronic staph infections on his feet with essential oils. She's a platinum in Young Living. He's high up in Young Living. She treats him with essential oils. She never takes him to the doctor. She's been doing metal detoxes with him via her own. She does the metal detoxes by taking the metal detoxes internally when she was breastfeeding, so that he could do the metal detoxes, and then when he was big enough, she gave him the metal detoxes himself. And then he was getting chronic staph infections, and you could see the staph infections that he was getting, and she would continue to treat them with essential oils. So if you think like, oh, people are not doing stuff with like essential oils, or that there are, and I'm not saying like alternative stuff that all our alternative things don't have a place. I'm just saying if automatically your brain goes, that wouldn't happen, that indeed it does. Indeed it does. Grafting would need to happen. It seems like it also feels appropriate to say what in the wide world of sports went on here, because holy mother forking shirt balls. Where's all the metal coming from? The toxic water and everything. Food. I don't know. Everything. What this douche canoe is leaving out is that they were treating the burns medically. He is making it sound like they were just standing around doing nothing and the oils fixed him. Yep. Well, at least they were using Silvadene cream. I haven't heard of Silvadene cream, so can someone tell me what... Can someone do my job for me and tell me what it does? I feel I would love to, like, I understand hospitals and medical personally have to respect patients, yes, and all, but I highly doubt they are not discouraging chemical burns and providing alternative medically sound methods. Yeah, I think, from what I understand, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I think I got, well, I mean, yeah, there's lots of y'all in the chat who are nurses and who've worked in hospitals and clinics and everywhere. So y'all know better than me. Oh my God. Sorry, please hold. Okay. The burns, we were feeling like Max needed more and wasn't getting enough for the level of healing that he was ready for. We explored options together. We were both frustrated and couldn't see another way. Natalie said a silent prayer that angels could work with the doctor and the head nurse to inspire them. Why wouldn't they just ask the doctor and the head nurse? The head nurse suddenly blurted out, what if we use the sulfur irrigation method that we use after skin grafts? This method uses tubes with holes to literally irrigate and carry an antibacterial solution to the burns. So last night they switched from the dressings being a Silvadene cream to this irrigation method. First, they put gauze on the burns, then liquid in the rubber tubes with holes in them, then medical bandages. They are allowing us to pour. Oh my God. Number one, this is a medical malpractice nightmare of a lifetime. I'm just going to set my microphone down for a second. Number one, the squirrel trails always squirrel trail. I don't know how this always happens, but I'm about to finish reading. They are allowing us to pour our oil mixture through the rubber tubes every 4 hours, and we just transition to every 2 hours instead of applying oils once per day with the Silvadene. The author writes, I cannot verify the treatment. Perhaps the use of oils is being exaggerated. Perhaps not. It's hard for me to imagine a hospital allowing people to slather a critical care burn patient with oils. But according to Andy, this is exactly what is happening. Let me just cite this. I just want to make sure I cite this author so I give credit, because there's nothing worse than, not nothing worse, but I just want to make sure I link people when I can. But according to Annie, this is exactly what is happening. But the tone of the website's salesperson testimonial in the face of such a horrendous accident is what gets me. The boy may not survive the accident, but if he does, recovery is going to be long and difficult. I'm going to give the Goddards the benefit of the doubt, of a lot of doubts, and assume that their reaction to this tragedy was a slip into autopilot to do what they know best. In their case, what they know best is to rely heavily on homeopathic products, and while doing so, broadcast it so as to encourage others to try them. But the fact that they deleted the description of the oils they used before taking Max to the hospital betrays the fact that many of the posts on maxgoddard.com are shilling these products. Maybe they realized that broadcasting their usage of essential oils before contacting an emergency medical professional was a bit too much of a medical leap to share with people who might do the same in a burn situation. But what they are doing, if they are telling the truth, could be incredibly dangerous for a boy with terrible burns. Now that they have doctor approval, it is less dangerous, but to wait to go to the hospital in order to use essential oils in a life or death situation seems unthinkably foolhardy. What they are doing, if they are not telling the truth, is incredibly misleading and dangerous for people who read and believe their testimony and may try to mimic their results if they are in a similar situation. This post says, we use doTERRA oils too and have been so impressed. May we never have an emergency like this. But if we did, it's nice to have a witness as to what will work. We will pray for your family and your son. Please keep us posted. Many MLM companies work well because the products are good, and perhaps that is true for doTERRA. I've never tried the oils myself. However, when a company relies on its own salespeople to turn all relationships and interactions into sales pitches and expect its untrained, medically speaking salespeople to dabble in medical advice, medical emergencies are simply opportunities to test product, and life is nothing more than a sales pitch, even in the midst of tragedy. Dude. Slay. Holy motherforking triples. Okay, we're going back to Reddit. The fact that people only skimmed Reddit. Not Reddit. People on Reddit only skimmed the article, and they're like, "Oh, I skimmed the article." Like, the article had the tea. That's all. That's all, folks. Okay. All right. Let's keep watching the video. I'm sorry I got distracted. I don't know why I got distracted, but I sure did.
She parked the car, walked up to her, and said, "Hi, my name's Natalie Goddard, and I'm supposed to talk to you." So she, they had a great conversation. She was super friendly. She invited Natalie over for some homeschool things, and then a few weeks later, she invited Natalie to a class on essential oils. Now, because Natalie was a trained holistic health coach, she thought to herself, I don't need to. There's nothing that this woman could teach me about essential oils. I'm an expert. I'm a guru. So I'm going to delete that email and ignore it. Well, the next week she invites her again. The next week again. And so finally Natalie says to me, "You know what? I'm just going to get her off my back. I'm going to go to this silly class. I'll just go sit on the back row."
Okay, so the classes that they're talking about are I think it's the initial doTERRA classes that they were having. We talked a little bit about it in the lawsuit. I'd have to go find the old pages. These are the ones that doTERRA got in trouble with. The doTERRA, like the true doTERRA founders, the C-suite people were kind of trying to figure out getting off the ground when they were splitting from Young Living. These are the initial kind of classes that he's referencing when we were reading the lawsuit several years ago. So he must be one of the 20. He and his wife.
Be home in 30 minutes. So she goes to class. She sits on the back row, but they started passing around the oils. And the first oil they passed around was peppermint. And this oil knocked her socks off. She had used peppermints from other companies, and there was a huge difference in potency and purity, and she could sense that. So the peppermint grabbed her face on both sides and got her perked up. And then she passed around the frankincense. And the frankincense, while she was smelling the frankincense, she had another spiritual witness to pay attention. That was the invite, was to
Yes,
to
a long time
focus
ago.
and pay attention. So she did. She sat on the edge of her seat. She listened to everything that was shared. One of the things they shared in that class was about Founders Club. This was when Founders Club in the U.S. was just been opened. And so Natalie came home that night and she said, "We need to buy all these oils from this new company, doTERRA." And I said, "Well, we already have oils from about two or three other companies, and we have a lot of them. So I don't think we need more." And Natalie's like, "No, these are different. Like we really need what they have to offer." And so we bought the oils. And she also mentioned to me, there's this thing they talked about called Founders Club, and I think I want to do that. And I was like, "Oh, that's cute," because at the time Natalie was, as a holistic health coach, she struggled to charge people for her time and services. In fact, if people even needed some herbs, a lot of times Natalie would give them the herbs or whatever supplements they needed to help them with their health journey. And I knew that about Natalie, and I thought, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Founders Club thing, you're gonna have to actually make sales. Like people are gonna have to buy stuff. I don't think you can sample your way, like just share samples to founder. But I was the super skeptical husband about the oils. I thought they were pretty much voodoo. And, I thought maybe there's emotional benefits. Sure, it makes the house smell nice. But I didn't.
Your wife's a health coach already. You're both in the kind of wellness space. We know, like, just from a theological perspective, a belief system perspective, you're both very foundationally, it's not a big jump to say you don't think that essential oils are voodoo. So that's a stretch just for this video. Just for this, like, lighthearted, I guess, part of your story. So, eye roll of a lifetime, bud.
Really research the science. I don't know if there was as much science back then, but if there was, I didn't research it. And I was also super skeptical about the business, the model. We've been approached by other network marketing companies and people, and in fact, someone close to us invited us to Quickstar. It's not Amway. That's that should be your first concern if that's the first thing out of their mouth is this isn't Amway, because it was just another name for Amway. And we had Utah is kind of the cesspool where a lot of network marketing companies start. So we've been exposed to quite a few. And it just felt like a slimy business model to me. It felt like a lot of, I don't know, manipulation and products that were overpriced. Not the value wasn't there. So that's how I started our doTERRA journey, was super cynical and skeptical. Well, Natalie starts using the oils. We start seeing immediate health benefits. We have one child who struggled with digestive issues, so much so that he, wouldn't go play with friends. He wouldn't go to social things because he was so worried about needing to use the bathroom. And so that was.
I can't judge. I mean, I can also ask the question I can't ask this. I know there are certain religious groups that are adamant about not going to traditional or getting traditional medical care for themselves or their family. So my question would be, were your kids able to access traditional medical care to pursue help for their medical needs? I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for the squirrels. And I hope he was. I hope your child was. Because if your child was not, I have big, huge feelings about that. Huge feelings about that.
So that was resolved with he, wouldn't go play with friends. He wouldn't go to social things because he was so worried about needing to use the bathroom. And so that was resolved with doTERRA's Digestin.
Oh my God, stop. I'm speeding him up, number one. And then I'm going to throw my computer in the trash can. Oh my God. Can I ask you a question? You cannot make structure function claims about supplements fixing something in the body like you just did. Number 2, you're telling me nothing worked. Nothing from a registered dietitian worked. Nothing from a doctor worked. Nothing from anybody worked. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. 0%. I'm not trying to gaslight you. I'm just asking. Nothing worked.
He took it with him everywhere he went, and yeah, we just saw miracle after miracle with the oils. So I started believing the oils. But when Natalie said she wanted, well, let me first explain what happened next. So a couple weeks in, Natalie's doing yoga, and at the end of yoga, often you do a pose called Shavasana. It's where you lie flat on your back, and it's kind of just this meditation, process everything from your yoga session. And during that meditative state, she gets another impression. You need to share On Guard with your sister Roxanne. You need to
Stop.
share this oil with your good friend Tana Lee. And with all these impressions, Natalie's like, well, but if I did those things, then I would be doing network marketing, and I don't do network marketing. And the impression came back, well, I wanted this for you, but if you don't want it, I can give it to someone else. And Natalie's like, hang on, just if you can fix my beliefs around network marketing, then I'm your girl. I'm in, and I'll follow the impressions.
As gently and as genuinely as I can say this, as respectfully as this, I'm not sure what I believe about anything anymore, but God doesn't, not that I presume to speak on behalf of God the Father, God the Son, or God the Holy Spirit. None of them care about your multi-level marketing company. They don't care about stacking into your downline. They don't care about your sister sidelines. They don't care about your upline. They don't care about your end of month goal. They don't care about any of it. They may care about you lying to your potential recruit. They may care about you stepping on someone to get to your next rank up. They may care about you, I don't know, like stealing, killing, and destroying and all that other shit. But I don't think they really care about like anything having to do with multi-level marketing in general. Your company, none of it. None of it. I don't think there's a still small voice going, oh, if you're not going to take the vision of doTERRA and run with it, I'm going to give the vision of doTERRA to someone else, because the true vision of doTERRA that should go into all the earth is big enough, or is truly great, and it's going to get out regardless. It's essential oils. Don't bastardize the process. Don't contaminate it. Condense it down. Put it on a store shelf. Sell it. Tell your friends about it if you want to. Let them go buy it at Kroger. The end. Stop harassing your mom and your dad or whomever and just say, hey, you want some lavender? It's over there. And stop pouring it on, your burns and just go to the hospital to get them taken care of. Rock on. And stop joining a product-based pyramid scheme. Cool, cool, cool. My God.
The promptings. So she decides she's going to start sharing. She schedules our first class. We set up some lawn chairs in our front yard. I think all of 2 women came, and most of them just blabbed about their health problems the whole time. I think one did enroll, bought a few oils. The next class, so Natalie, undeterred, she schedules another class, and nobody showed at the second class. So that was discouraging. I don't know how many of you have had no-shows. I think anyone who's built for any amount of time has had no-shows, but she just kept going. She still believed in the product. She believed in the business, and to her credit, she was actually asking people to enroll, and people were enrolling. They were asking her to buy, and they bought. So we started sharing. She kept going with the classes. People were starting to show up in greater numbers. Some of them actually wanted to host their own classes. And a few months in, I started to realize that this company has massive potential for a lot of reasons. A, the product works. B, the business works. But 3, the business model captures people's focus and attention in a way that I'd never seen before. I'd worked with lots of different business models, and I'd seen how the business, traditional business models, you're pretty much exchanging people's hours for dollars. And so you're kind of buying their time. But when I saw how passionate Natalie was about sharing doTERRA and how it became kind of all consuming, like it really sucked both of us into, how can we use the most creative methods we can think of to connect with more people and help them experience the oils, help them experience the company and the owners. I realized doTERRA was something special. It had the model, it captures people's genius and brilliance in a way that I'd never seen before. You couldn't pay people to get as creative as we were getting and to stretch and try new things, at least in my experience. I know that entrepreneurialism is like that, but doTERRA was doing it in a scalable way. We had our own team members who were getting super creative. By this time, the Bybes were involved. Laura Jacobs was involved. The Garretts were involved, and they.
We're gonna have to go back and write down some of the names. By we, I mean I will, because I think we need to make our Pepe Sylvia board to find our top 20, because I think it's going to be kind of like our top 50 list in Monate. Finding our top 20 list in doTERRA is going to be eye-opening to find the true twistiness and seeing the bad behavior trickle down, because truly seeing how Elise acted in her training of, oh my gosh, this is the person in my downline, and look, she just changed this one thing, and then it completely changed the way she started recruiting, and she's like all polished when she's trying to do this training that we dumped because it was boring as hell. But seeing the difference between that and then when she was being super slimy in this bridge contract video that was not supposed to see the light of day, it was like, oh, well, if she's like this behind the scenes, what are the other master distributors like behind the scenes? And so now I want to know what the other master distributors are like behind the scenes. So I'm nosy, which is why we're here, why we dumped the Detox stuff.
And they were, doing the same thing. They were doing anything and everything in their power to connect and to strengthen the network, to train the network, and to give them exposure to the product, the company. And so I was starting to get really, really impressed with how engaging the model was. So Natalie's starting to see some success. She's, I think the rank requirement for founders was gold. And so we got there in a couple months. And by the time we were platinum, our team was really growing quickly. And Natalie was like, Andy, I could really use your help. I've got all these people who need business training, people need mentoring. At the time, I was really enamored with this idea of being a life coach. And that was the phrase that Natalie used. She's like, hey, would you like to be a
Ew.
life coach? And I was like, ooh, I, I'd feel important if I was a life coach. And so I jumped in that role first. I helped with back office. I helped with some of the, spreadsheets and rank and Power 3, but it was mostly there was a lot of the coaching too. So at Platinum is when I quit my job. I was a web designer at the time, and I emailed all my clients and said, here's some people you can work with. I'm joining my wife in this new venture. So we were partners at Platinum, and within I think 7 or 8 months we got to Diamond, and then we started to recognize the power of duplication, and we realized the need for duplication. We made some really big mistakes. Can I share a couple of the huge mistakes that we made along the way?
Sure.
So we thought that, hey, I'm sure that networking works, but I'll bet the traditional ways work too. So we tried some traditional ways of marketing, and a lot of them were total fails. So we were approached by a magazine. I think it was some kind of mothering magazine, and they said, hey, you can run an ad. We have a nationwide audience, and you can run an ad for only like $2,400. And so for nationwide exposure, you can place an ad. So we're like, hey, let's give that a try. Um, so we built a website, that was a little better than the replicated website at the time. And then we ran this ad. I was a designer, so I felt great about the design. There are a lot of things I would change now, but I think we got about 50 people to click on the ad, and 2 people signed up with the family physician kit. I think it's called Dr. Mom Kit at the time. So if you do the math, we would have made about $40 in fast arts from those 2 kits. So we earned 40 and we put out 2,400. So you do the math. Where I come from, that's not a great return on investment.
Right.
So that was a fail. That was a good learning experience. But a more painful fail was we actually moved to Australia, and we had coached one of our team members. To be diamond, you need 4 silvers, and so they got to where they had 4 silvers, but one of their silvers was underneath one of the other silvers, and so even though they were in roller on that silver, those 2 silvers were stacked. They weren't on 4 separate physical legs, and so they called us and they're like, "Hey, we made it, we're diamond." And then we look at their back office and we're like, "Oh shoot." And we asked corporate, like, can we do anything? And corporate's like, I'm sorry, like, we can't do anything. And so, they had told their team they were diamond. We had started to celebrate them as diamond, and then turns out they weren't diamond. And that was a really, really painful experience, to tell them, sorry, you've got to start all over with a whole new leg and build that leg to silver for you to be diamond. So that was a painful experience. And many, many others led Natalie and I to realize we need a system that trains people, that's really clear, straightforward on what it takes to be successful in this business. And so that's when we started building what was called the Share Success System at the time. And so the first thing we did was I built these rank charts.
Interestingly, we've been listening to him, and he hasn't told us how to sell the essential oils. We've heard how, from somebody else's website, how he used a traumatic experience with his son, and then how he changed the story to make it less unsavory, the way that he did it. But I guess how to use traumatic stories to move the essential oil products. But I mean, he's sharing his journey behind his doTERRA success, but the doTERRA success that he's talking about is all about recruiting. Like, what are we doing? Recruit, 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 recruit.
And it was just circles on a page, and they were blank so that you could fill in the names of the people you wanted to partner with. And those were free downloads on sharedoterra.com. That's our website. I guess that was the first name of the system, was Share doTERRA. And then it grew from there. We made a welcome brochure that kind of morphed and became the Live Guide. Eventually, we made a training manual Back then it was called the Lead Guide, and that had everything in it. It had, a class, the Live Guide, the Share Guide, Build Guide, and yeah, it just kind of grew and evolved from there. But it was amazing for us. doTERRA became a very engaging thing for us, and at one point, our life became totally out of balance as we were putting all of our energy into doTERRA. And at one point, we thought we're going to lose our family, we're going to lose our children. But then the finances caught up and freed up our time and allowed us to do things like move to Australia and just spend like two.
Did he say we're going to lose our children? What did he say? doTERRA became a very engaging thing for us, and at one point, our life became totally out of balance as we were putting all of our energy into doTERRA. And at one point, we thought, we're going to lose our family, we're going to lose our children. We're going to lose our family, we're going to lose our children. But then the finances caught up and freed up our time and allowed us to do things like move to Australia. So they're at a huge rank. They're doing all this. They're pouring into their team. They're putting all of these systems together. They're at this huge level. What about everybody down at the bottom? What are those people supposed to do? What are those people supposed to be able to have the time freedom? Even Elise, one of the 20 master distributors, the video that we bailed on for the recording, the lady that she's talking about, the one who told her that she was going to leave doTERRA, she had an accounting firm, and she was like, Elise, if something doesn't change, I'm going to have to give up doTERRA to go back to my accounting firm because I can't make money doing doTERRA. And this lady, who was going to have to give up her doTERRA business, had won this competition. Like, she was number one in the entire company. And Elise was like, what do you mean? You're number one. Like, you're the best at all this. What are you talking about? And she's like, I can't afford my lifestyle. I'm not making any money. I don't know what to tell you. I can't, something has to change, or I have to go back and restart up my accounting firm. And so Elise was telling the group, I had to help her do, and she only changed one thing, and this is what it was. And I was recording it with the members behind the scenes, and I was just thinking to myself, this lady is number one at whatever she won or whatever this rank was. And she had given up her accounting firm to do doTERRA. And she was so good at this, whatever competition was, or whatever this rank was, or whatever this thing was. But it still wasn't good enough for her to make a living at. Being that good. She couldn't make money doing it if she wasn't recruiting enough people. And it's like, when are people going to figure it out? You can't sell and make money doing it. You have to fucking recruit. Putting oils over your kids' burns. That's a good question. That's a good question.
2 months just playing with the family and just traveling and having experiences. Then our team, we had a similar realization with our team where, we had this fail with the leader who thought they were diamond. And we thought, oh man, we're going to lose our doTERRA children. We're going to have massive fallout. And so that's why the system came about, and we put a lot of focus there. Luckily, doTERRA offered to take over the share success system. and now that's called empowered success, because printing, translating, selling that was it was a massive headache and a huge distraction. I thought I was going to lose my mind at one point. A funny little fail when it comes to the system. We knew that we needed to translate it because we had growing teams all over the world. We started expanding into Europe, and we partnered with a translation company, and we didn't know which markets needed the tools the most. And so we asked the translation company, what are the most popular languages? And they gave us a list. And we're like, great, translate the system into those languages. So we have it translated. We have a bunch printed. We pack our suitcases and we bring those over to Europe with us. We go to European convention. We have a little meeting and we're like, hey guys, we're so excited to bring you the live guide, the share guide, the build guide in French, in Spanish, in German, and in Swiss German. Now, for those who are familiar with languages, you probably know that Swiss German is kind of like Ebonics is in English. Like you'll hear people speak in kind of a funny or different way from what we're used to, but it's not like you would ever print something in Ebonics,
Oh
right? It's
my
the same thing with Swiss
God.
German. We looked like total fools
Oh
for
my
printing
God.
and translating into Swiss German. So that was a huge fail, a huge waste of money. We ended up shredding all those because nobody wanted to buy those. Big egg on our face. But we learned and we kept moving forward. And so yeah, so that's a part of our journey with systems. And so we've just fallen in love with the process. One of the biggest downloads that I got while we were creating the system was the belief levels. And it actually came during an incentive trip. I'd been mentoring people over and over and over. Natalie stayed home. We just had a new baby.
You got fleeced by your translation company? You literally got fleeced by your translation company? Oh my God. What?
And so I spent most of that trip just mentoring, people one-on-one. And in that process, I started to see a pattern, as I'm trying to help people assess where the breakdown is in their business. And what I learned is that if there's only one thing that matters in your doTERRA business, it is belief. It all comes back to belief. If you can gauge the success, the momentum of your team, you would do it with that one metric, belief. And there's a certain sequence of beliefs that actually really matters. You first have to have solid belief in the business, the product. Second, in the business, so you have to believe in the company, the opportunity. You have to know that the company is trustworthy, but you also have to know that the comp plan is going to do what it says it will do, and that you'll get the results that you're looking for. The third thing you need to believe in is yourself, and that was the
How come you just gloss over the product and then you spent all this time on the comp plan and yourself and the company and blah 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 blah? What? Oh yeah, the product actually exists. Okay, blah blah blah. Are you kidding me? I hate to be hammering away at the fact that the product actually needs to be good. But if you have to have solid belief in the business, in the product, second in the business, so you have to believe in the company, the opportunity, you have to know that the company is trustworthy, but you also have to know that the comp plan is going to do what it says it will do, and you'll get the results that you're looking for. But, what?
And in that process, I started to see a pattern, as I'm trying to help people assess where the breakdown is in their business. And what I learned is that if there's only one thing that matters in your doTERRA business, it is belief. It all comes back to belief. If you can gauge the success, the momentum of your team, you would do it with that one metric, belief. And there's a certain sequence of beliefs that actually really matters. You first have to have solid belief in the business, the product. Second,
You have to have solid belief in the business. Oh, I mean the product. It's like the product doesn't even fucking matter. Yeah. Did you forget you sell essential oils? I mean, you at least know you sell lavender essential oil. I really do hope your son's okay. Truly, I hope. I hope your son's doing great. My God.
In the business. So you have to believe in the company, the opportunity. You have to know that the company is trustworthy, but you also have to know that the comp plan is going to do what it says it will do, and that you'll get the
Okay, let's just see what this is. How did Andy and Natalie build the business? What creates lasting belief in the team? How do I help customers become builders? How do I keep going when progress feels slow? What's the difference between a sharer and a builder? Oh, here we go. Final questions, closing encouragement, business building guide overview, using classes to build relationships, giving people only what they need next, growing into leadership, avoiding information overload, coaching each person differently, taking care of your people first. The activities are the same, the vision is different. The activities are the same. Oh, I already read that. Understanding different levels of commitment. Q&A, sharers versus builders, managing the ebbs and flows of business, pouring into leaders who will multiply, collaborating with your team, personalized coaching over mass communication, helping people take the next step, the power of personal reach outs, strengthening belief, blah, blah, blah. I think we're good. I think the TLDR is... Here's the TLDR. Here's the wrap up. We found someone twisty. I am 93.75% sure that this guy is one of the master distributors in doTERRA, along with Elise, whatever her name is. And we're going to keep him on our Pepe Sylvia board. So Natalie and Andy Goddard, don't touch the poop, but I'm not your mom, so proceed with... You're the best person to make the final decision on your behavior because you're the one that has to live with the consequences, but to each their own, I guess, but don't do stupid shit. I'm trying to see really quickly if there's information like in the later pages on Google. I see some podcasts that are older, but I don't necessarily... And I don't know... Oh. Let's chat Meta Power, Andy and Natalie Goddard. Okay. I think I'm in kind of like the limit for my pain, so I will keep you apprised of where we're at and trying to collect our top 20 of twisty people propping up the power of doTERRA. And while we're kind of doing a doTERRA week, we're going to detox doTERRA from our systems to gear up for the bridge contract of a lifetime. So thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow, and let me know what you think of the bridge contract, because it's wild to me. But make good decisions. Don't forget your meds. Hydrate, and don't forget to eat. And I will see you next time. And don't forget to pet your flu for me. Okay, bye.